these were the mistakes from your last lesson. So we're on Roman Road and somehow you've missed this guy crossing the zebra crossing, and I've had to brake for you. Okay, so here's the video again. Now you should definitely see him, and I've done the braking here, so this is a serious fault. The next mistake was here at Gants Hill roundabout. We followed the road for Chelmsford A12, so this is the third exit. It's slightly on the right. Okay, now on this roundabout, to take the Chelmsford A12 exit, now this sign on the left, it now says Newbury Park. Okay, they just can't fit all the directions into one board, so they put Newbury Park on this board, and the last board they wrote Chelmsford. And the sign on your right tells you that you can use either lane for A12. Okay, you can use either lane for A12. If this sign isn't there, I'm going to assume we need the right hand lane, because the exit is slightly to the right. Okay, so if you imagine it like a clock, it's slightly kind of facing like 12:30 or 1 p.m. So it's past 12 o'clock, so it's slightly on the right. So you use the right hand lane. Previously in the last lessons we used the left hand lane because the signboard says you can use either lane. Okay, now here we're going into the roundabout. Now what you got to do is go into the right hand lane, which is this one here, because we've come into the roundabout from the right hand lane. If we come into the roundabout from the left lane, we'll use this one here, A12, and this one, if we use the right hand lane, we use this one. Okay, so now this roundabout, it's spiraling. Okay, so where your lane's from the curb here to that line there. Okay, this is all your lane. Now your lane is splitting up into two here, so you've got to spiral off to the left to come here, which is looks like it's kind of the middle. So you're going to keep to the right, so you've got to keep slightly left when it spirals out, when the lane splits up like this. Okay, your next fault came here. It's a serious fault, something you'll fail for. It's in Ilford in Lee Street. So we're approaching some traffic lights, and traffic lights went to amber now. Plenty of time to stop, and you've sped up to go through that, and I've had to tell you, you cannot go through that. You just start slowing down, and then later on you braked and stopped. So the fact that you stopped now proves we can stop. So if the amber light comes on and you can stop, you should stop, especially with how long you had to do it on this occasion. So I'll just give you a replay of this. Okay, so this is the replay, just coming up to the traffic light, and very early it goes to amber, like now. Plenty of time to stop. So I'll tell you, you can't go through that. So if you can comfortably stop, then you must stop. As long as you're not having to apply an emergency brake to stop, you should try to stop, especially on this occasion. The next serious fault you'd fail for this is you're turning right into this road, and you were about to turn over the giveaway markings into the wrong side of the road before I stopped you. Okay, so you were about to turn right now, too early, so I kind of said no, don't turn now. So you've got to turn later into your side because you can't see what's coming out that road. So if I rewind it a little bit, you can see that wall is blocking you. The wall and the bushes here are blocking your view. You don't know what's coming out the road. You can't turn into the wrong side. You must turn later and get into your side, and then overtake the white van, because you don't know what's coming out that road.
Even with that car there, you can't turn it because we don't know what's coming out that road.
And see, we turned later, and it was still possible to overtake the white van later and safely look into that road before we turned in. And that's how it should be done. And then about 5 minutes later, you made the same fault again, and this is something you would fail for.
Take the road on your right.
So I've said take the road on your right. So the right turn is just where the arrow on the floor here is, and you've turned early into the wrong side of the road. Okay, you've turned into the wrong side of the road. So then we came back to the same road again and we took the right turn properly. Okay, so this is how it should be done. You should turn into your side of the road after the line running down the middle of the new road. Okay, so this allows you to look into the road and see what's coming and safely turn in without hitting this blue car that's coming toward you. Or if you don't hit them, you're going to block them and you'll have nowhere to go and they'll have nowhere to go and someone's going to have to reverse back. But on the worst occasion, you could hit them, they could hit you because you've turned into their side of the road. Okay, now your next fault came here. We turned right at this road and then I'll show you what happened. Okay, so we've turned right and we're driving down this road. There is a black car coming. They've already committed their position to the middle of both parked cars on either side. You've got plenty of time to notice that where they are and slowly come and stop behind this parked car on your left. But what you try to do is just speed up and go into the middle of the road. But then where would they go and how would you go through them? So all you got to do is just come slowly and stop behind this black color car because they've already taken up a position in the middle of the road. There's no way you can go past with them there. So here I've kind of encouraged you, wait, they've already committed to the road. Now if you had gone, this would be a serious fault, something you'd fail for. Okay, so because I stopped you, that's why you didn't go, but if you did go, it would be a serious fault. Okay, now your next fault was here. We turned right. Most people call this the clock tower junction because there's a clock tower here. Okay, so everything's okay now. And then here you came and you tried to go without checking to see what's coming from your right, this car. You thought only your left side needs to be checked only, but you're coming really fast as well. So you didn't see that, you didn't look at the right. That's why I had to stop you here. So you must give way to both sides here, your left and your right. Check both sides are clear before you carry on driving on past the giveaway junction. Now here you made another fault. So the car in front of us, the black one, it's got its hazard light on, so it's going to stay there for a while. So you've gone round it, but when you went round it, you didn't give it much room at all. If their door was to open, you would have hit it. Okay, now there's a middle lane there, so this is easy to go around. You just use the middle lane to go around this black car. Also, you got no other car coming from ahead of you. Okay, there's no car coming from the opposite direction that you need to worry about. So you can give this black car plenty of space. Even if you have to go into the other lane slightly with your right hand tires, that's fine because there's no one coming the other way. But what you've done is you've driven too close to this car. So this would be a serious fault, something you'd fail for. Okay, so they're just too close to this car. Okay, and there's no need to be that close because you've got a middle lane you can use. Plus, there's no one coming in the opposite direction. You could use even slightly. You can keep your car about there, and then and go past it. Okay, so you've gone too close to that car. This would be a serious fault, something you fail for.